So I've handled a number of what we call juvenile products, or what everybody else may call car seat cases. When purchasing a car seat, is looking for a seat that they expect is going to keep their child safe. And one of the biggest things that we see in these cases is the fact that parents really are not provided the information to know when to transition their child from one car seat to another. Oftentimes, people will transition their children to a different seat because they meet the minimum weight requirements for that seat. But in reality, they need to make sure that they've reached the top height and top weight limit for the seat that they're currently in. Now, while manufacturers often say this in the literature that's provided with the seat, they don't really give a good explanation as to why. So many people will automatically assume, oh, it's okay to go ahead and transition my child to the next seat, when in reality, it is not. And the manufacturers typically do a poor job of warning or instructing as to the dangers of transitioning a child too early to another seat. There are a variety of car seats. We'll start with the infant seat. An infant seat is a rear-facing seat that's going to go up to a certain height and then a certain weight limit based on the manufacturer's specification. Those seats are only rear-facing because you should always start your children out in a rear-facing position. Often the infant seats can be detached from the base, because they can use the car seat itself as a carrier. Once a child has outgrown the infant seat, meaning they have reached the top height or the top weight of the seat, then you transition your child to another seat. And these can be a couple of types of seat. One is called a convertible seat. These types of seats can stay rear facing and then can flip around to the forward facing position where your child is forward facing in their 5-point harness. There are also seats called all-in-one seats. These seats can be rear facing, they then can turn around to a forward facing position, and they can also convert to a booster seat. So one of the mistakes people make is that when they transition their child from the infant seat, they put them forward facing. What you really need to do is keep your child rear facing for as long as possible. The American Academy of Pediatrics, as well as the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, recommend that children should stay rear facing to at least 2 years of age. However, that recommendation has now been amended, and they are now saying that children can remain rear facing past 2 years of age, but that really depends on the specifications of the car seat that you buy. So those are kind of the different types of seats that you would have. But the main thing to remember is always keep your child in their current seat until they reach the top height or weight limit. This is important for the rear facing position, and it's also important once they're in the 5-point harness seat. Your child's going to be in the 5-point harness seat for a pretty long time depending on their size. They're going to get annoyed with it, but really that is the safest seat for that toddler or child to be in until they can appropriately fit in a booster seat. So when you transition to a booster seat, we would always recommend a high back seat. We have found that those place the shoulder belt more appropriately across the child's body than a booster seat without a high back. Another aspect of car seat safety that is important is installation, because if a seat is installed improperly, then the seat can't do the job that you bought it for. So again, keep your child in the seat they're in until they reach the top height or the top weight limit.